It was between David Solomon and Harvey Schwartz, and Solomon wins. Seems to be the takeaway from this statement this morning, Erik.
Well, it would appear that way, doesn't it, Jonathan?
Yeah.
There's plenty that we don't know, right? We don't know exactly what transpired over the weekend. We don't know if this report in the Wall Street Journal precipitated something of a battle, if you will, in the boardroom behind the scenes. How is it that David Solomon, who was co-president with Harvey Schwartz until moments ago, emerged the sole president? And why is Harvey retiring from the firm? One thing this leaves me with is the thinking, or at least the thought, that this is going to revive at Goldman the age-old debate over who should run the firm. Should it be a banker or should it be a trader? Harvey Schwartz had a background in both. Started in investment banking at Goldman Sachs and eventually became a co-head of global securities. David Solomon, on the other hand, is originally a Drexel guy. David Solomon comes out of the high-yield world, leveraged finance, moved into investment banking in a much broader way at Goldman Sachs, and of course ran that business before becoming co-president of the firm with Schwartz back in 2016. But David Solomon, well, first of all, neither of those guys is a Goldman lifer. Schwartz came to Goldman from Citigroup, or Citicorp as it was known back then. And David, of course, was at Drexel, as I mentioned, and then subsequently went to work for Bear Stearns. So each of them brings a different background and a different character. The fact that David is in his blood a leveraged finance guy says something about his character. If you spend any time with him, you know how gregarious he can be. He is not Lloyd Blankfein in temperament, and certainly not in background. Lloyd is a J. Aron guy originally, came to Goldman through that acquisition back in the early 1980s, and is in temperament and mood, I would say, and in the way that he runs the firm, very much a trader. David Solomon, if he does end up being CEO to succeed Lloyd at some point when we don't know, there are scant details, there is going to be a very different kind of CEO.